Well, hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life. And for those of you who are regulars, you know what I try to do in the Friday night broadcast is to show you ways to meal prep or save a lot of money just by buying smart. Now, today we're going to do save a lot of money. I think it's probably going to blow your mind about as much as it has blown mine, but we'll find out. First of all, please notice I've got the slow cooker out. And the reason I've got the slow cooker out is they had a deal this week on some um, pork loin. And so I bought some, and it's been slow cooking in my kitchen since the last broadcast at lunchtime. It smells so good. I wish you could just smell how good it smells at the moment. Um, and just so that you know, what I did is I first of all put in about 2 cups of that incredible red, what is it called? Um, yeah, I started off with 2 cups of the red wine um, broth from Campbell's. And then I put some leeks over the top of that. And then I put the loin in. Oh, and by the way, what I did was, hi, it is, and hi, Jody. What I did was I actually put it in the air fryer just to make sure that the outsides were all cooked. I think I did about 15 minutes each side in the air fryer. Hi there, Kimmy. And then I put it into the slow cooker. Now, quite honestly, it did very quickly. So it may be that when I take it out, it's just going to fall apart completely. I'm hoping that it won't. But it was probably ready a couple of hours ago. So, and I've had it on low ever since. So, and actually, I've just turned it up now because I put some potatoes in there. We will find out the hard way. All right. So here we go. The reason I'm doing this broadcast is I read somewhere when I was doing some surfing on the net about a family who reckoned that they saved themselves over hi Karen, over $500 a year just by not buying deli meat. All right, and think about that. They reckon that I think they have a family of 5, and they use deli meat for sandwiches and things. They reckon that they have saved themselves literally $500 a year just by doing what we're going to talk about today. So, how many of you would like to save yourself $500? And I'm thinking, for some of us, we're going out of winter and into spring, which means that we'll probably be outside more. And I thought this might be a great saving for all of you. Now, what I'm going to do is first of all tell you that in order to do this, I had to invest on a slicer in a slicer because I didn't have one. I used to have one. I used to have a stainless steel one many, many years ago. Don't know where it went. But anyway, what I did was I just bought the Star Frit plastic one so that I could, show you. So this cost me around $55, $56, I think. And I tried to see what it was in American, but I didn't see it on Amazon. So if any of you can just have a look and see Star Frit deli slicer, I think it's called, or just the Star Frit slicer. See if you can find one anywhere. Give me a rough price in America. All right, so now then, what I wanted to talk to you about is just how much you can save. It is scary. I buy marble cheese, and one of the things I found out, I always have a slice of marble cheese in my pita every day. And what I found out is I saved an awful lot of money by buying cheese slices rather than the blocks of cheese because I cut a much bigger slice when I use a block. However, here's what I found out, and this is a bit scary. This, and I'm going to talk in Canadian dollars, but don't worry about it. You'll get the idea. The idea is that you understand what the saving is. So I buy these like this, and because I buy them in bulk, there are 2 lots of them in here, and I normally get about 24 slices, all right, in there. and that costs me about $12.50 in Canadian dollars. Right? Make sense? And I buy that every month. If I went to the local wholesale shop, which I can't go near because I'm an impulse buyer, and bought a marble cheese slice, a chunk of cheese like this, I could get it for as little as 137 for 100 grams, which would be 3 ounces in American. So think about that. The difference is $2.50 if I buy it like this, $2.50 for 100 grams or 3 ounces if I buy it pre-cut. Or if I buy the big slab and cut it myself, I can bring it down from $2.50 to $1.37. So if you're looking to cut your budget, think about that. Are any of you surprised? I was stunned. And then I thought, well, hang on a second, what about deli beef, right? Because we got the stock pot, so we can buy cheap cuts of beef and slow cook them in there. Deli beef today costs you in Canada costs around $6 for, or that would be about $3.40, call it, for 100 grams or 3 ounces. If I can go to the wholesale store, I can buy a pre-cooked, even if I didn't do it myself, I can buy a pre-cooked roast beef and cut it up for as little as $1.65 for 100 grams or 3 ounces. Now think about that. The price dropped from $3.41 down to $1.65. Huge saving. Yeah, incredible. I thought so. That's why I wanted to do this broadcast. How about, even if I bought, listen to this, even if I bought, they had Angus beef on sale, sirloin tip on sale. If I cooked that up and I sliced it, it was on incredible sale. I could get it for as little as 82 cents for 100. So about $2.40. So if you buy when it's on sale and then cut it, incredible. Deli chicken. I had to look at deli chicken. Again, this is about $4 for 100 grams or 3 ounces, right? Deli chicken. I don't mean the chicken roll or the loaf. I'm talking about real chicken. You can buy chicken breasts, and I didn't eat, not even wholesale, just a pack of 4 or 5, family size thing. And you can get that price of $3.98 down to $1.75. That is half the price to cook it up yourself and slice it. If you buy wholesale, you can take that $4 roughly, $3.98, and bring it all the way down to $1.40 if you go to a wholesaler. And then I looked at pork loin. Now, how many of you know that what Canadian bacon is pork loin? Did you know that? I'm not going to make bacon today, but I was thinking, I should do that next time or some other time. We'll just, show you how to make your own bacon. But, Canadian bacon, as they call it, is just the pork loin. Now, that is what I've got cooking in there, but it's cooked up as a roast. It's not cooked up as bacon. And for those of you who think about it, you could cut your own bacon. I don't know what the price of streaky bacon is down your way, but it's horrific here. And I'm seriously thinking now of buying my own. Streaky bacon is made from the belly. And buying a belly roast, chunk of meat from the belly, and make my own bacon. Or buy another loin when it goes on sale. And Walmart normally has quite good sales on a complete loin. It's about this big. And you can cut some of it into a roast, some of it into bacon, some of it, think about that. It's like you're trying to save money. It's a good idea. So how many of you want to have a look at this thing? First of all, The reason I got this one is it's light and it's thin, which means it's not going to take a whole lot of room in my kitchen. All right. The one I used to have was a big, very fancy stainless steel. This has got a stainless steel blade in it, which you're going to see in a moment. But, you know, the whole thing was stainless steel, very heavy, difficult to lift up and down. This I can do with one hand, even with arthritis. So that's what I liked about it. The other thing is that it folds up. For example, this comes up and it goes into here. This bit comes off the back. This bit also comes off the back, and then don't know if you can see this bit, you know, just literally drops down. And then what you have is this bit is like a slider, and this bit slides this way. All right, you got the idea. Now the next thing is it has a very serious suction pad on it. All right, so I'm pretty far away from you there, so let me try and get closer to you. Before there we go. So you can see it there, okay? All right, so now it's got a suction thing, and I have to use my whole hand to push it down because I've got arthritis. But I think if you didn't have arthritis, you could do it with your thumb. But it is solid, all right? It doesn't move. So that is awesome. And then what you've got here is a dial which which you dial up how thick you want your slices to be. So just for an example, I've got a carrot here because there's nothing to say we can't do vegetables as well. So let me just show you. We'll do some slices about that big, I think. And all you do is you literally just slice away. So, okay, nice and easy. About that thick. What if we made it thinner? Going to do about half the size. Or not. Come on. No, doesn't like that. So, now, how many of you can imagine that on a plate with cream cheese on it? Don't you think that's clever? Gonna have fun in the summer. You go. So you get that idea. If it does these like this, what if we take an apple? Here. So just cook. Hello, I spy with my whole eye. So here we've got this, and because I'm cooking pork, let's slice up some apple rings to go with it. You know, make those a little bit bigger. I don't know if I can do this. Of course I can. I just don't have any practice. It moves. So now I've got some apple slices that I can have with my pork. And I'm going to put those in water. With a little lemon juice. Actually, I want to cut a few more. Obviously, this is going to take a little bit of practice for me. But I'm getting there. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Oh, yeah. Way cool. Whoop. Now, whenever you get near the blade, get it back to 0 because that blade is really sharp. Oh. There we go. So that's I'm going to be using that in a second when I do the pork, but pretty easy, right? Oh, and that bit too. You're trying to escape. You don't get to escape me today. I'm in a mood. All right. So now then, the next thing, what about cheese? Now, here's what I learned about cheese. Yes, exactly. Karen's saying, and you can dry the apple slices to make apple crisps too. That's what I was doing. And what about really thin potato slices to make potato crisps? Your own, which you can then bake and not deep fry. Good idea. Now, if you're going to cut cheese, what they tell me is it's a really good idea if you're cutting cheese to wet the blade. So I've got a damp paper towel here. And try not to cut my finger off at the same time. Okay? So just a wet paper towel, damp actually, and let's see how it goes. So we'll do it that way first. Oh yeah. How about you get a slice, huh? Okay, it's one. You've got to admit that was pretty easy. Portion control. Think portion control, people. Uh-oh. Back to 0. So now I realized I've got the best of both worlds. Now I can have sliced cheese slices, but I can buy the cheese in bulk now and cut my own. It's going to save me a lot of money to buy more gizmos so we can play. Just doesn't want that many pieces in it. Yeah, Isabel makes a very good point. It looks like you have more control with this one. I have the stainless, and it's scaring me each time. Do you have the electric stainless or the hand stainless? I wouldn't get an electric one unless you really are. Yeah, electric. I wouldn't go near one of those. I'd chop a finger or two off. All right, so now then, haven't done it yet. But how about bread? All right, as I want to make French toast tomorrow, but so let's see what happens here. Oh, again, talking portion control, I can cut it this way and the slices would be that big, or I can cut it this way and the slices would be bigger. I'm going to do it this way because I want to enjoy that French toast. But I'm going to do slightly bigger slices now. I'm thinking, mm, you're gonna have to try it, people. Will it go through my bread? Yeah, like butter. Wow, that's incredible. Imagine trying to cut. That's a you know hard loaf. Um, okay, Jody will want to see the crumb on it. There you go, Jody. Um, so pretty interesting, right? How easy was that? Pretty darn easy. I'm trying to imagine if I tried to cut that. I would probably have to do it with my electric carving knife, and it would not be beautifully symmetrical like that. Huh. Yeah, I haven't been playing with this. This is like I think I cut a bit of cucumber with it, but that's it. Right. So Karen's saying, be careful cleaning that. I sliced my finger really bad as a teen working in a fast food restaurant. Yeah, obviously you've got to be really careful, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So now, this is my bread for my, oh, it's going to taste so good, for my French toast. And I've still got half a loaf left. Zero first. Okay. So I still got half a loaf left for whatever I might want. Very impressed. Should we try meat, people? What do you think? Okay, I'm going to try ham. Right? Big savings on ham. So I got a whole ham. Well, a whole joint of ham. Cut of ham. Whatever. And I paid $23 for this. Right? And it was £3, 3 ounces. Or if you live in the rest of the world, that would be 1.5 kilograms. So we're talking deli ham, so we want it thin, right? Now what I'm going to do is to get my digital scale out, and I'm going to put my plate on it before I turn it on so that it's 0. Okay. And what I'm going to do is to cut it into about 3-ounce lots. See how we do. Yeah, the plate is covered, people. Don't panic. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm thinking about there. Try it. Get the fingers out of it, huh? So I've got slices that this thick. I could go even thinner than that, couldn't I? What it tastes like? 2.2. Okay. It's good for one baggie. All right, so that's what I call enough to keep me going for a couple of days. All right. Oh, how cool is that? Okay. Okay. Now, I'm not going to waste your evening by cutting it all up, but you get the idea. All right. It's enough to keep me going for a couple of days. So what I will do is I will cut up a whole series like this and then freeze them like this. Pretty easy. I'm so hungry now, it's not even funny. All right, now I don't want to cross-contaminate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ham out. Oh, 0. Take the ham out. Put that away. Okay, here's another one. And put this back in the fridge until tomorrow, and I'll cut up the rest tomorrow. It's so cool. I can't believe how easy that was. All right, so before I move on to the loin, the pork loin that I'm going to cut up, I'm going to actually rinse it off. All right, so we've got it zeroed, which is good. Take that off, and just rinse them. Okay. So that came off pretty easily. Now you can probably see, I'm not going to do it, but you can actually take the blade off. I will do that when I finish cutting everything. I'm just going to rinse everything sort of just to get the crud off it, and then we will carry on. And in case you were all having a little conniption about that, is the handle. Yeah, it's not going to fall anymore. You see the blade is totally protected by this piece. All right, I don't know if you can see that. So even though I was rinsing it and everything, I didn't have any fear of cutting myself because it's protected up here, it's protected here. I like that feature. Okay, there we go. So now I've got to clear a bit of space. Oh, very good. Because now we're going to bring the loin out. As I said, there's a possibility it will just fall apart, in which case I'm going to have pulled pork. Yeah, Jody's saying, makes me nervous. Also with the mandolin, I sliced my thumb one time. You know something, Jody? This is less likely to cut you than the mandolin, in my view. You're better protected all around. Okay. It smells so good. Just want to test the potatoes. Okay, here we go. So these have been cooking. Let me think what I did with them. All right, the red wine bouillon at the bottom, then the leeks. Then I covered them with, oh, I put them in the, slow cooker. No, into the air fryer. No, that one, the air fryer, just to make sure that they were properly cooked on the outside. And then I covered them with all sorts of stuff. There's some soy sauce in there. There's definitely some of Jeannie's magic mustard in there. Definitely the 5-spice. Oh, okay, this Chinese 5-spice. Yeah, I want to tell you, if you could smell this, you would be drooling the way that I am right now. But the question is, can I meal prep? All right. Now, the thing I want you to think about is when you get a pork chop, do you eat a whole pork chop? And when you eat a pork chop, is it 3 ounces or less, or is it way more? So that's part of what I wanted to show you is what does 3 ounces of thinly sliced pork look like? Now, thinly sliced because I can cut it up and put it over my salad, all right? Or I can put it in my pita or whatever. So one of these I'm going to cut up into small slices, and the other one I'm going to cut up into chunks. The bigger one I'm going to cut up into chunks so that if I want to do something else with pork, I can pull out pre-cooked pork, all right, and then have it. So let's start off doing some pork roast, all right? Can I do that? Yes. I have to think because I'm not used to using it yet. There we go, that's good. And that fits on there like that. Like that, it's good. Okay, and what did I say? We'll do the smaller one. Oh, I'm going to tell you, it smells so good. It's going to fall apart, people, I can tell you right now. Okay. So exciting. Okay, here we go. 0. Yep. Oh, yeah. You can think about 4. Be about right. Oh, yeah, it helps if you secure it first. So, here we go. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is to say to you, really? Oh, never mind. Okay, so in the joy, you're right. I'm turning it over, just, and I've got some pulled pork happening here, which is fine. I'm quite happy with it. I did say that I thought it might fall apart, and some of it is doing that. So more pulled pork. I'm going to do slightly bigger slice, see if that helps. Yeah. So what I want to show you though is this is like 4 ounces of meat. Okay. And I would not need to eat that much. What about you? So what I like about it being sliced is I would probably eat about that much while I talk to you. But you know what I mean? Oh, it really tastes good. There we go. I did it perfectly. Yeah, so there we go. That's 3 ounces. Plenty. So again, if you're looking at portion control, think about it. All right? A pork chop is way too much. It is really messy back here, people. Zero. Okay. So that's 3. I'm actually going to just not even put that much in. I'm going to put that much in. So I've got enough for 4 pork dinners, 5, 5, if I include the pulled pork. How many of you know I'm going to stuff that pulled pork into a pita one day? I'm so good. Or 2. So I'm going to it's about 1.3 ounces. It's about 1.4. Now, how many of you can imagine? Yeah. See, Isabel's saying that's a nice sandwich with lots of mustard. So, you know, perfect little portion. And what a treat. You know, so some days I will have deli ham and some days I will have pulled pork. Okay. Which leaves our other one. Now, oh, we want some for me to eat tonight. You forgot to tell me that. So we need my plate, which was here. So we'll cut a little bit off this one for my dinner. Okay, so there we have roast pork dinner. 0. And what I did is while I was cooking this, I also threw in some potatoes and some carrots and some onions and stuff. So when I go to eat, I will be pulling those out of the slow cooker. But I think that's about what I would normally eat in terms of meat. All right. So very good. Now the question is, what else might I want to do with pork? All right. So I'm thinking, what if I fancy putting some pork on a kebab? All right. Pre-cooked. Doesn't take very long. Sort of par cook the vegetables I wanted to use with it. So I can do that. So let's take what's left here. What else might we want to do? Really good. What's that mustard? Really tasty. Let me think. What else do you think we might use pork for? So I'm going to use the sharpest knife I've got, which is actually a very fancy bread knife. So, and make myself some pork cubes. And this is the skin. Wow. I think basically I'm going to just make a couple of, how about one slice? That would be another meal. And this would be another meal. Like a loin chop. And how big are those? Let's just see how big they are. Yep, 2.8. I'm getting good at this, right? So, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different meals for $30. 11. for $30. So to me, that's pretty good cost saving. What do you think? Any comments? Yeah, Jody's saying 10 meals for $30 is outstanding. Yep. I'm actually want to tell you that I am pretty impressed with the whole thing. So the question is, see, that's what you got to think about. Did I just about pay for the thing today? Right? If you think about it, I spent $57 on the slicer. How many of you know how much use I'm going to get out of it? All right. And you'll see me do other things. All right. I've just about paid for itself. You know, it would probably pay for itself in the first month. That's how I'm looking. But seriously, this family that I was watching, they said they did the math and they didn't, inflate it in any way. They said they reckon they saved at least $500 getting the slicer. Now, what I'm going to show you is, it's really messy now. Okay, this is really gungy. Ooh, good stuff on that one, so more mustard. We don't want to waste the mustard. Okay, so pretty messy. But that can all go in the dishwasher. Right, now let me try and show you how the blade works. Okay, you can see the whole lot's pretty gungy, right? Now, the way the blade works is really quite simple. It's got this little doodad in it here. And you just give it half a turn, quarter of a turn, and the blade just falls out. Okay? This you wash by hand with soap and water. Don't put it in the dishwasher. And what I'm going to do to make sure that I'm careful with it, I'm going to put it on a dinner plate. And then what I'll do is put some hot water on there and some soap and let it just soak. All right. And then I'll be able to pick it up nicely and just finish the cleaning. What do you think? Good idea? So we'll rinse it first. We'll rinse off that mustard that's there before it stains everything. Pretty easy. Yeah, Jody's saying she'd probably use a scrub brush. I got a long handle scrub brush, so I will undoubtedly do the same. Now that leaves me with a whole lot of stuff here, and I'm just going to literally rinse that all off with hot water, okay? then I know I've got the worst of it off. I'm just going to spritz it with some soap. Hot soap. Yeah. Like that. Not difficult, people. Okay. Now I've got more bits here. And then what I'm going to do now is to bring the slow cooker and fill up these bits that I've got in here, and then I'll use these up as well. It smells good. But first, for my dinner, so there we've got potatoes, leeks, carrots, and pork for dinner. And gravy. So now we're just going to put some in each of these. An onion, apparently. So 4 complete meals, very easily done. Now let that cool off. And then so now these I will put into bags, and that'll be, I can decide what I want to do with them, right? Whether I want to eat them like uh, just roast pork, or whether I want to cut them up and use them in a pita or put them on top of a salad or do whatever I want. So we've got those all done as well. Pretty darn good. Plus, I've still got vegetables here. Probably 2 scoops of vegetables and a little bit of gravy, not a whole lot. So what I wanted to just make sure you understand, I didn't do a whole lot of work. Right? I put it all together after the broadcast and then let it cook. Duh. We've spent we've spent an hour, all right, cutting things up and playing with it. Way more than you would normally do necessarily. So what I'd like to suggest is that is pretty awesome meal prepping. That's enough meat. If I have pork once a week, that's more than 2 months worth of food for me. All right, because what I do is I will cook. What did we cook last time? That was 2 months worth already. I can't remember what we cooked, but I remember that we put enough into the freezer that it was enough for 2 months. I've got over 2 months now of pork. So the next roast I will get will be either a beef roast or a chicken. Right? Does that make sense? And then do the same thing. Cook it in bulk and then bag it. And by the way, the reason I like it to be cooked when I freeze it is because of the other end, right? Like, I don't feel like cooking, but I really would like roast pork tonight. Does that make sense? And I can do that anytime I want to. I can have roast pork anytime I want to. I just go to the freezer and I pull it out and warm it up. Whenever I want to have roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, I have the roast beef pre-cut in my freezer and the Yorkshire pudding that I just heat up. I eat really well. No doubt about it. So, everybody, did it stun you as much as it stunned me how much money you can save just by using a slicer? Will you use it every day? Probably not. Probably not. But hey, if you use it once a month and cut those costs in half, I would like to suggest that's pretty good going. Now, you guys are, much more lucky than I am because you can get bologna. You can get lots of stuff with garlic in it. The pre-made stuff, and cut it up. Buy the whole thing and then cut it up. Absolutely incredible money-saving ideas. And if you want to pre-cut all your cheese, into nice little portion control, just put it between layers of wax paper and fold it up. Yes, Kimmy's saying I'd use it to cut fruit. That's why I did the apple for you. Cuts beautifully. I also I'm going to use it to next week. I thought I'd use it to cut zucchini. Because I want to make a special thing, a zucchini lasagna using zucchini rather than lasagna things. The carrot sticks look so pretty, don't they? I mean, they did until I ate them. I've probably still got them. Yeah, here we go. But what I'm thinking about, can you imagine in the summer, a whole tray with these on them, and people going, "How did you do that?" Huh? Anybody like coleslaw? Can you imagine cutting a cabbage on that for coleslaw? Timmy, I couldn't find it on Amazon.com. You might find it, but I didn't find it. But it's the star frit. Here. Apparently I've got... I don't know what the plus signs are for. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to make it next week, Karen. Now, the other thing, as I said, I was thinking I might make my own bacon now. And I wonder how much money I'm going to save doing that. That's all stuff I want to have a look at. So, it doesn't just cut meat. It cuts vegetables. It cuts cheese. It cuts anything you want it to. So my attitude is, think about it, all right? Think about how much money you save. The question is, does your family eat deli meat? The other thing is, are you trying to make sure you portion control for your family? Because I can assure you, I carve really well. People ask me to carve when I go out to dinner, with people, right? Because they know I carve well. But to me, if you're not good at carving, it's a really good idea. How many of you imagine a turkey breast done on here and then sliced up? I've been trying to get a turkey breast for nearly a month now. A turkey roll, a proper one, to do that. And I will eventually get one. I keep ordering it and they keep running out, but we'll get it one day. So I hope that you found that interesting and can see that you could save a lot of money. Not a little bit. And, I believe that the price of meat is not going to get less. I think we're going to continue to see it rise. And goodness only knows if we end up going into any more of a war, everything's going to cost us a whole lot more. So we need to be really, really careful. However, I do want to tell you that what I cooked that loin in did make the difference, I think. It tastes so good on the outside. I'm really looking forward. So I hope that you found it of value, and I look forward to doing something like it again soon. This is DearMamaSal saying, I'm going to eat my dinner now. Please, can I eat my dinner now? Jody, thanks for your help and the research that you did for me. All of you, thank you for taking the time to be with me. And know that I love you dearly, and we'll see you soon. This is DearMamaSal saying, yum. Bye-bye for now.